Cheers. How's everybody today? I'm Fred Williams, and I am the host of a TV show called Dirt Every Day. I mean, I don't know, I don't really call it a TV show. I guess sometimes it's on TV, but most of the time it's on an app that you get for your telephone called the Motor Trend app, and the show is called Dirt Every Day. And every now and then I get to also drive around and test really cool trucks. And today I'm testing the new GMC Yukon XL. This is the GMC version of the Chevy Suburban, and I call it a truck. But this one's actually two-wheel drive, so it's probably more of a car than a truck. But the reason I wanted to drive this is because it's the diesel. This is a 3-liter inline-6 diesel engine, and I think that's pretty cool that you can still get a diesel-powered SUV from General Motors. And this was the one they had that they were willing to let me borrow. I think after having it for about a week, I would have, if I was speccing it out, I would do a few things different. But more importantly, let's stick to what this truck is, what it has, and then we'll get to what I would change. Number one, 3-liter diesel, 277 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty good for a little 3-liter engine. Inline 6, which is unusual since most of the other diesels in that 6-cylinder range are V6s. I guess if you think about, like, the Jeep has a V6. But the inline 6, I love how it gets the torque to the ground, and behind that inline 6 is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Sorry, no manual transmission option available. One of the things about this truck that I really wanted to test out was the fuel economy. And I had people telling me that they have seen these get all the way up to 30 miles per gallon. I unfortunately had a few little issues with it. I didn't get to drive it as much as I had planned, and yet I still averaged about 22.9 or 23 miles per gallon. I think if you just loaded this thing up and hit the highway for long drives, you might actually be able to step it up to about a higher 20s or maybe even low 30s. I did not see a 30 miles per gallon in my week of testing. Most of my driving was kind of back roads, stop and go, running errands into town, driving down to the beach. Because, and I'll kind of preface this with one major flaw that I had specifically with this truck. I don't think it's every GMC, but this truck in particular, again, I call it a truck. You might call it a car because it's only 2-wheel drive. It's more of a station wagon, but I'm just going to stick to calling everything a truck. This truck has an issue where the air conditioning doesn't want to work when the outside temperature is over 90 degrees. Which, I'm not like a rocket scientist, but I'm pretty sure that you really want the air conditioning to work when the outside temperature is over 90 degrees. And this past weekend where I live, we saw temperatures like at 110. So get up early in the morning and drive the Yukon XL, GMC Suburban, whatever you want to call it. But come afternoon time when the sun is blazing, you kind of don't want to sit in this thing because it's just a giant greenhouse. It has this giant, I call it a giant greenhouse because, I don't know if I can open this. Oh yeah, you'll be able to see it. It has an enormous 1/3 of a city block large sunroof. I mean, if this thing is a whole city block long, that thing is a massive sunroof, which I don't know if that's actually like causing some of the problem, because it's just radiating more heat into the truck. It's a two-wheel drive, but it's a diesel, and it comes with a sticker price of $81,000. Ugh! But remember, this is like the GMC version. This is the gentleman's Chevrolet. This is the one with leather seats that are heated and cooled. It has a giant infotainment center. It's got big old blingy wheels. It has super sparkly pearl coat paint. This is the nice truck. You can actually order a Chevy Suburban with the diesel in their base model, fabric seats, no fancy sunroof, still with four-wheel drive, or actually with four-wheel drive, and with low range, a 2-speed transfer case, and you can get all of that for about $57,000. I spec'd out a Tahoe version, which I think is really cool, that you could get a little Tahoe, which is just slightly smaller, doesn't have as much, I think it might have 3 rows of seating, but you can get it with just a base model, slightly smaller truck, and you can get that for about $55,000. Still, look, $55,000 is a lot of money. But when you start looking at the price of new vehicles, and you think about the fact that you could get a Tahoe that has a little straight 6 diesel, and I bet you actually could get closer to 30 miles per gallon out of that, because smaller vehicle, lighter weight. That's pretty cool that you could have a diesel SUV and for the same price as, well, for $55,000. It's a lot of money. Another thing people will probably want to know is, how much does it tow? So I unfortunately did not get to tow anything this week. But let me look here on the door. I'm gonna pull in here. Oh, here's another thing that's kind of funky. This thing has like a push button transmission. Let me see if I can turn this around and show it to you. This is your transmission shifter right here. Park. And then when it does that, this one in particular like lowers the air suspension, and then when you want to put it into drive, you have to pull the button up. And then look, a backup camera. Doot, 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 doot. All right, so let's put this back into park. I'm gonna get out and walk around this thing a little bit. All right, here it is. GMC Yukon XL. 3-liter Duramax. Big old fancy wheels. These are a 22-inch wheel. Come here to the back, push button. It does use DEF, diesel exhaust fluid. So I carry a box with me in case I need some. 3 rows seating, which means I have enough seats that both myself and my 2 dogs can all have our own row of seating. Side steps that fold down for people that can't step up the 12 inches to get in. There's ones there stop at 8 inches. Let's look here. Here is the tag. Towing capacity, 7,900 pounds. Tongue weight, 790 pounds. It's underneath here. Come to the front. There's the button. There it is. Clean little diesel engine. Sounds like a diesel. It's not really a whole lot to see. It's move to the back and look at the rear suspension. Independent rear suspension. But it does have some big, beefy axle shafts that you can kind of see back in there. But low-hanging fruit when it comes to lower arms. Let's keep driving. There's that big sunroof. Set this back up here. What else can I tell you about this truck? Let me grab the sales sheet. I'm gonna go over a few of these things. Here's the Monroney, as it's called. This is the window sticker. Total vehicle price as delivered, $81,750. Standard vehicle price, $71,100. So that means that your basic GMC Yukon Denali starting $71,000. But this is like a higher grade truck. This is like a little bit nicer in every way than the Suburban. I think I would rather have the Suburban. I would rather have a little bit more rough around the edges type truck that I can throw the dogs in and not worry about the leather seats, 3 rows, back two are captain's seats, and then like this even has like crazy video screens right on the back of the headrest here. 3-year 36,000 mile bumper to bumper with limited warranty, 5-year 100,000 mile powertrain limited warranty. Let's see, what options did we get that stepped it up from 71,000 to the 81,000? Air ride adaptive suspension. I wouldn't do that. I like things simple. I would just go with your basic suspension. Rear seat media system, don't care about that. 22-inch brake machined aluminum wheels. The smallest you can get for the GM version is an 18, so I would go with that. It gives you more sidewall. Wheel locks, don't really care. Assisted steps, those will get ripped off when I go four-wheeling. Sunroof, power, dual paint. Look, this is really neat, but probably wouldn't order the sunroof. Adaptive cruise control. I mean, that's kind of neat, but that's just like you're basically taking more responsibility away from the driver, so I wouldn't get that. Rear camera mirror, that's kind of weird. I'm going to show you this. This is the rear view mirror. It's not a mirror, it's a camera screen. Now, if you flip it like that, now you can see I'm holding the camera, the phone camera. But then if I flip it this way, it turns on a camera in the back of the truck, and that's now your rear view mirror. It's neat. I don't know, I wouldn't pay an extra for that. Pro grade trailering system. I would get the trailer system. If I could have a Suburban, 3-liter diesel Suburban or Tahoe and be able to tow 7,000 or 8,000 pounds, that's like towing my little Jeep out to the trail and then having like a cool SUV that you could camp out of the back in. What else does this have? Hitch guidance with hitch view. They don't need that. In-vehicle trailering app. I do like that it has a trailer brake controller. So I think if I was ordering one, I would get all the trailering options. I would get the diesel engine, but I would get kind of like the base model. I think it's an LS, not to be confused with an LS engine, because this is a inline-6 diesel. But that is like their low step truck. I don't know, what does LS stand for? Lowest options? That doesn't make any sense. So there you go. $81,750. GMC Yukon Denali. Super nice truck. Way nicer than I need. But I'm sure there's lots of people out there that want the top of the grade. I feel like I'm pretty happy in a mid to low level pickup truck. Definitely get the 4-wheel drive option. They have a 4-wheel drive option that doesn't have a 2-speed transfer case. You want to get the one with the 2-speed transfer case, so you have a low range. They all have independent rear suspension now, independent front and rear. Kind of a bummer because I miss the old 3/4 ton Suburbans that you could get, but the independent rear on this looks pretty beefy. I have never torn into one, but I think it's pretty neat, and I think that it would be cool if GM offered like a ZR2 option SUV. Like, give us a go fast Tahoe, or like a super off-roader Overlander Tahoe and Suburban option. That would be cool. Really good shocks, jounce stops, like jounce bumper, air bump type deal. Keep the independent rear. I don't care. I mean, I wish it was a solid axle, but I know you're not going to change that. But give us some lower arms on the independent rear that have some more ground clearance and that you can bash into rocks and stuff. Let us build a really cool one of these, and I think that people would actually buy it. I think a lot of people at GM are like, well, we'll just make it a luxury truck. You don't need to do that. I think you need to build something like this that has off-road prowess. All right, overall, pretty stoked on the 3-liter diesel option available in the Suburban and Tahoe. GMC is for the gentleman Chevrolet. I am not the gentleman. I'm some long-haired dude that likes trucks, so I'll probably stick with the Chevrolet version of Chevrolet. Thanks for tuning in, and that's it. That's a little walk around. If you want to see more about what I do on my day job, go check out Dirt Every Day on the Motor Trend app. And if you like this type of random stuff about trucks and dogs and other weird stuff that I'm into, subscribe to 4x Fred Williams YouTube channel. Thanks, bye. The AC doesn't work in this thing. It's garbage. I don't know what the problem is. I can't believe that every new GM truck is like this, though. It has to be a fluke. Basically, 80 degrees outside or 90 degrees, and the AC is just blowing hot air. Crank it all the way to low, turn it all the way up to full blast, do the recirc thing, hit the AC button 100 times. Does not work very well. And when it's like nice and cool outside, you know, like when you don't need AC, the AC works great. When it's hot out, and it's been hot, it's been like 110, I think they even recorded 115 degrees in my hometown. AC, garbage. I don't know why. It's kind of a bummer, because I really want to love this truck. But that part of it, I do not love. Sorry. Dumb. I'm gonna go drive my old Chevy truck. That one, the AC pumps.